Okay, the Snowmen. I have mixed feelings about this special. If anyone was to ask about the Snowmen, or if I was asked, what do I think about it? I'd say, I don't know. I'm not sure whether I like it or hate it. There are some good parts and some visuals that I like, but the script and writing is lazy and repetitive, so I'm really scared about what to say about it. However, I will start off by saying, I like the premise. After losing the pawns in the events of Series 7 Part 1, the Doctor has retired to living alone and brooding in his TARDIS, literally on a cloud over Victorian London, while his friends from A Good Man Goes to War try to convince him to come out of his gloom. When an alien snow falls upon London and killer snowmen start walking the streets, barmaid/governess Clara must be the one to bring the Doctor back to normal. Okay, so what do I like about this special? Well, I like the fairy tale aspect of it. It does have the usual fairy tale features that are very well imaginative to every detail. The light and colour palette is pretty good, the costumes and props are well made, the budget in the production is clearly used to its full potential. Whether it's the cloudy stairway, the Victorian streets, the lighting in the indoor scenes, but the crowning achievement would be the TARDIS, which was redecorated again in this special. While I do miss the original 11th Doctor TARDIS due to the fact that it is actually bigger on the inside, this one actually looks like an actual time machine, and I did manage to grow to like it in the show. I did agree that maybe it was a bit too dark. I mean, I had this issue first time stepping into that TARDIS whilst I was on a tour at the time, and I couldn't see a single thing when the lights were turned out. I like how they have the Doctor come across as a Scrooge-like character. Matt Smith's performance sells it with his hunched body, his low tone of voice, and lack of interest. And actually, I think it would have been a good special for the Doctor. But I think the actual turn from Scrooge to Kringle might have come a bit too early. Maybe if we have the actual change until Clara's fall off the cloud, it might raise a bit of a more impact. Speaking of which, let's talk about Clara, since this is her first official appearance as the new companion. I will say this version of Clara is a whole lot better than Oswin in Asylum of the Daleks, and Jenna Louise Coleman is a capable actress. She has amazing comedic timing whilst working with Matt Smith, and I will say she does look good in that dress. However, to be honest, if I was asked which version of Clara do I like, personally I actually liked Clara in Series 8 and 9. Say what you will, but at least there she took responsibility with her jobs, her life, and took extra caution whilst travelling with the Doctor. Plus, she's a young woman with experience. Whilst here, in the second half of Series 7, she's nothing but a pretty face with a witty Cockney attraction to the Doctor, which Moffat wrote again for every single female companion he's written. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of this Clara. Well, she does have a nice duality of having a double life, even though I would have thought someone would notice that the governess is the same barmaid, but all she is a mystery towards the Doctor, which is why we had forced moments like Clara thinking of the word pond, kissing the Doctor, and easily getting the TARDIS key in the first step in the TARDIS, which was also added in to let her death have more weight. And the whole women twice dead thing, I hated that. The Paternoster gang from A Good Man Goes to War make a return, and it's a welcome addition. They are very entertaining, they are a great group of characters, each playing off each other, and I like how each one has a different conflicting personality. Vastra is the wisecracking, knowledgeable Silurian, Jenny is the young free spirit with a few restrictions, and Strax? Okay, when I found out Strax was acting as a butler, I thought that was embarrassing to watch, but once he started talking, it got me smiling. Whether he is trying to help out his fellow teammates, telling frightened people to calm down, or whether requesting to take other people's coats, Dan Starkey plays it straight, which actually works very well about his character, despite being a lower end of the Sontaran race. And that's where I draw the line of the good stuff, because now I need to discuss the bad things about this special, so I'll start off by continuing with the main flaw with these supporting characters. I don't think it's the actor's fault, I just think the problem lies in the writing, given to them by Stephen Moffat, and some of the execution, for example, the one-word scene, while it would have been a good scene, Moffat's writing does have a habit of ruining this scene. The other supporting characters again are either underdeveloped or wasted. Well, the kids are fine whilst working with Jenna Louise Coleman, but the weakest supporting character is the father, Latimer. Even from the first scene with him, I knew he was a completely generic cliche wasted character. And don't talk to me about how he redeems himself in his own story arc, because even then, that is completely shoehorned in, and there wasn't any given time to actually show it being developed. Richard E. Grant plays Dr. Simeon, the villain of this episode, and I think he did okay. I mean, I know he is a capable actor, and he does have a few good scenes, whether it's with Astra, Jenny, or the Great Intelligence, but I couldn't see a simple rivalry of hatred towards the Doctor. I just wish the relationship between the two was given more time, in order for the hero-villain relationship to work. However, this is proven better in The Name of the Doctor. Sir Ian McKellen voiced the Great Intelligence in the special, and it's freaking awesome! Yes, even if it's distracting to hear Gandalf's voice, it's still amazing to hear this great actor's voice in Doctor Who. In fact, every time he speaks, he dominates the scene. He is in control, better not speak when he is talking, and every time he speaks, he brings a powerful presence in the room. However, the execution on the set brings him down a peg. The snow globe clearly has a wind machine inside, and how the snowmen actually work? Well, it was an interesting twist. I don't think it was explained well, and maybe it was revealed way too late. The snowmen themselves, well, I will admit the design of their evil faces, while nothing original, does have potential in scaring little kids, are not that frightening. All they do is rise up from the ground, roar, and that's it. No, seriously, they do nothing. This literally kills their potential. I literally wanted there to be a scene where the snowmen would come crashing through the house, Night of the Living Dead style. Plus, if they are meant to attack, why didn't they just attack them already like they did with the red shirts at the very beginning? I mean, we even got a shot of the snowman blowing snow out of its mouth towards the Doctor and Clara, and that is never used again. These snowmen are possibly one of the lamest villains in all of Doctor Who history. I guess I could talk about the governess, but to be honest, I don't care about the governess. She's just something that Stephen Moffat added in just so we can have a chase sequence. And what is their plan? Okay, so the snowmen come to Earth, randomly appear in London, grow in sizes and power. So all they need is some human DNA in ice crystal form. Okay, that's not a bad plan, but all they need is a frozen body of a drowned governess? Why specifically that person? I mean, what are the chances of that happening? Plus, you just killed a bunch of workers in the snow. Doesn't that count? Couldn't you just have someone like, I don't know, Dr. Simeon do it for you? Yes, I know this does happen, but where it fails is the execution. Again. And how were they defeated? Okay, I know it's a Christmas story and we need something unexpected and yet emotional at the end, but even I didn't know what happened first time watching it. I guess it's meant to be beaten by intellect, ingenuity, or anything noble, but no, that's just pure luck. So therefore the threat has no stakes at risk. Come on, Moffat, now you're just making this up as you go along. Do I think it's better or worse than in the previous special? Well, it's hard to say since it depends on what you would see it as, whether it's meant to be a separate Christmas special on its own, or another chapter of the Series 7 story arc. For me personally, I see it as a chapter for Series 7. I don't see it as a Christmas special, but I do see it as a little fun chapter in Clara's story or the Doctor's run in Series 7. Plus, you gotta give this episode credit, it did get me interested for Series 7 Part 2. So, it's harmless. Sure, the story is a mess, the supporting characters are either underdeveloped or written badly, and there are some other flaws that might cause this episode to fall apart, but the episode does manage to save itself with its great acting, great production work, and great fairy tale visuals. So, don't be afraid to check it out. I guess all I can say at this point is, let it snow.